Tony, welcome.
Thank you, Salim.
Tell us about the creation of NGS within the broader context of P&G and GBS.
Absolutely. Procter Gamble, as you know, very large company, $65 billion, 75 countries. And within Procter Gamble, we run all of the operations through an organization which is called Global Business Services, which is a combination of shared services and IT put together, about $2.5 billion. And about 3 years ago, we ran up against an ironic problem. We were considered by the industry to be best in class on global business services or shared services. And the ironic problem was when you're best in class and you want to improve further, what do you do next? And that's when you and I met and we decided, hey, it was possible to disrupt a best-in-class operation. You know, with any large company, or for that matter, any other company that's facing the disruptive power of technology, it's not sufficient to just operate in old ways with more efficiency. You have to find a way to create new disruptive business models. And both the IT as well as the shared services organization, and it was all part of one organization, needs to play a critical role to actually help the company create new business models.
Well, as the first adopter of the ExO Sprint, first of all, I want to thank you. Secondly, I wanted to kind of drill in and talk about how did you find the process, right? So we did the opening awake session to bring all of the senior leadership. Do you remember that? And do you remember what the feedback and outcome of that was?
We were, completely mind blown, if that's even a term. Pictures such as the green cat that glows in the dark, or the fact that you could actually have the entire computing capacity of a human brain available for $1,000 in the next few years. I mean, that was an awakening call. And so we walked out of that really feeling like this isn't our father's company anymore. We have got to find a way to actually take this to the next level. So coming out of that awake session, it was very clear that we actually had to create an edge organization to disrupt Procter Gamble's global business services, or the back offices, right? And so what we did was actually create an open ecosystem which included hand-picked people from each of the parts of our shared services operations, so the financial shared services, marketing shared services, supply chain shared services. And then we brought together 7 of the largest IT companies that worked along with us, and then a whole bunch of venture capitalists and startup companies to essentially create that open ecosystem. And then we decided what we were going to be was a little bit like the Google X model. So we were going to be running on projects. We were going to be a portfolio of those projects, and each of those projects would have to be a 10x idea to disrupt the way internal operations are run, whether it is how do you run payroll, how do you run supply chain, how do you run marketing campaigns. We were going to be that disruptive innovation organization. Firstly, I have to say, before the sprint, the awake session is absolutely critical to get the entire organization rallied behind trying to do something very, very different. At the risk of embarrassing you, I think you did a fantastic job in the leadership team there.
No embarrassment there. You can repeat that many times over. That's totally okay.
You can pay me later, yes. Now, then when we kind of got into the sprint, I think the structured way to kind of execute this, to kind of understand that you could diverge for a while and look for various opportunities and kind of get down to a few of them, and then kind of take a few of them and use approaches like design thinking and lean and agile to actually go get them executed. That's what worked for us. We've run about 25 projects because, again, we're a project portfolio organization, and they've spanned the metrics of user satisfaction, top line growth, bottom line growth.